Tell her what happened with 221.
I mean, Dr. Schaefer, she knows what she's doing, right?
What happens in the cloud is irreversible. It's an entire system reboot. No one comes back the same.
Let me out! I'll leave and I'll disappear forever! Please!
In the heart of Los Angeles, where countless dreamers fight to be seen, one woman steps into an opportunity that promises to change her life. A place that claims to turn dreams into reality. But behind the promise lies a hidden world where illusions are manufactured, nightmares take form, and the line between hope and horror disappears. Gemma woke in the quiet of her small apartment, her body still adjusting to the unfamiliar rhythm of Los Angeles. She washed her face, then settled in front of her laptop, scrolling through endless job applications. Among her belongings, she found an envelope marked not to touch. She held it for a moment before setting it aside. Later that day, Gemma walked into the gleaming lobby of the WVA talent agency. She approached the casting receptionist, introducing herself and inquiring about any available opportunities. The woman dismissed her politely, saying there were no openings, and even leaving a resume wasn't an option. Gemma leaned against the wall, uncertain what to do next. Her attention was drawn to a girl entering a nearby building with a hiring sign displayed. Hope stirred, and she followed. A receptionist welcomed her and explained the doctor was busy, but she could leave her resume. As Gemma's eyes caught strange images on a television, Dr. Catherine Schaefer stepped out, explaining their work was about making dreams come true. The doctor led her into her office. Seated across from her, Gemma answered questions about her background. She explained she was from Georgia, that she had worked long nights at her parents' diner, and that her true passion was acting. Dr. Schaefer listened closely, then explained the position. The shifts were all overnight, but the work itself was straightforward. Making sure the clients rested, the doors remained secure, and the halls stayed clear. She told Gemma to return on Thursday evening at 10 if she wished to accept. Grateful, Gemma returned to her apartment. She noticed something was off, and she stepped cautiously inside, flicked on the light, and saw nothing but silence and shadows. Setting down her groceries, she brushed off the unease and went to sleep. The next morning, she discovered a package at her door with her name written on it. The scent told her it was from her father. Inside were familiar things from home. She arranged them carefully, then opened her diary, slipping into memories of the past. Her thoughts carried her back to the diner where she once sat with Luke. He had asked about her dreams, and she confessed she wanted to be an actress. He had laughed with admiration, saying one day he wanted to take over his father's garage and build a home of his own, even sketching out the house he envisioned. Back in the present, Gemma started her new job at the clinic. Noah, a colleague at the clinic, switched off the television, clarifying that Schaefer was no sports director at all, but a respected psychologist whose work had redefined sleep. Noah began showing her around the facility. He guided her down the quiet corridors until they reached a softly lit room. Inside stood a sleek chamber, its design futuristic and unsettling. Noah called it a sleeping pod. He explained that Josh was lost in a vision of his ideal life, dreaming of becoming a husband, a father, and the creator of an app he believed could change the world. These implanted visions sank into memory, and, after 6 weeks, became so ingrained that the dreamers believed them to be their destiny. They returned to Dr. Schaefer's office, where Noah searched for Gemma's new uniform. While waiting, Gemma's curiosity drew her to the doctor's desk. Most drawers opened easily, except for the bottom one, which remained locked. Noah didn't notice her attempt. That night, Gemma followed Olivia's trail and stepped into the game shop. 2 men were playing when she approached, asking if they knew Olivia. They mocked her with crude remarks, forcing Gemma to leave. Sitting outside in the night air, she was approached by a stranger, Brooke. He asked if she was all right, and though she insisted she was fine, he pressed gently, asking her name and where she was from. She told him Georgia, and when he asked why she had come, she admitted her dream of becoming an actress. Brooke listened, then handed her his business card, telling her to reach out if she ever needed anything. She thanked him before parting ways. The following morning, Gemma awoke to the sound of her phone buzzing, a new message, with an invitation to an audition. Elation filled her as she prepared for the chance she had long been waiting for. That evening at work, Noah appeared, studying her with quiet interest. Then, with a spark of excitement, he asked if she wanted to see a program he had been developing. Gemma agreed. He showed her a subject who longed for a political career, fame, and a family. Noah explained he had mapped everything, but the details of the man's wife remained incomplete. Before Gemma could respond, Noah lifted his camera and snapped a picture of her. Startled, she demanded he delete it, but instead, he fed it into the system. Together they watched as the pod projected an image of the man's dream, and Gemma saw her own face inside the vision. Shock rippled through her. She demanded that he delete it once again, but Noah only smirked, suggesting he could leave it, and in 6 weeks, the man would awaken convinced he was madly in love with her. He would search his memory, trying to recall where he had seen her, convinced fate had brought them together. He told her he could create anything she wanted, even offering to program her a boyfriend. Soon after, Gemma went to her audition, handing her resume to the casting director, pouring herself into the performance she hoped would finally change her life. He asked her name, her height, and instructed her to read for the role of Marion, while another actor, Kelvin, read opposite her as Sharon. Under the glare of the camera and the watchful eyes of the panel, Gemma performed. When she finished, the director told her she had done well, that they had her on tape and would get back to her. She left the room with a smile, hope flickering in her chest. Back at her apartment, a sticky note clung to her door. She plucked it off, slipped inside, and prepared for another night shift at the clinic. Hours later, seated at the monitors, Gemma noticed something unusual on the screen. She grabbed a flashlight and walked down the corridor. She pointed the beam into the darkness. A pale, strange creature stood in the shadows. Gemma screamed and ran out, crashing into Olivia in the hallway. She told her what she saw and begged her to check. Olivia went inside, turned on the light, and found nothing but an empty room and the sound of the machine. Later, in the dim glow of her apartment, Gemma connected with Anna over a video call. They exchanged warm words about each other's well-being. Gemma asked about everyone back home. Anna said they were all fine, then hesitated before mentioning that Luke had brought a girl home. Gemma tried to sound indifferent, saying that it was fast. Anna explained he was trying to move on. Their call ended suddenly when knocking sounds came from Anna's side. Gemma lay on her bed, staring into the darkness, her mind drifting back to Georgia. Memories of Luke surfaced in the diner, the laughter, the promises they had whispered forever. The next day, she searched for Brooke's business card. He drove her to a quiet spot he used to clear his head. Sitting together in the parked car, he asked if she had had any auditions yet. She said only one, and no feedback so far. Brooke replied that opportunities often came when one least expected them. Gemma confessed her fear of failure, worried she might have been wrong about everything. Brooke told her to stop trying if she truly believed that, but she admitted she couldn't. Back home, everyone had said she would fail, but staying had never been an option. Brooke reassured her, promising to let her know if he came across any auditions. She thanked him softly. That night, Gemma sat at the front desk of the clinic, boredom settling over her. She scrolled through the camera's gallery, deleting a photograph of herself, then stumbled across a strange video of Noah. Before she could process it, the door burst open. Dr. Schaffer entered, flanked by 2 policemen, dragging a screaming woman. Confused, Gemma demanded to know what was happening. Noah called it Cloud 9, the first of the year. She asked what that meant. Olivia muttered that it was more like an experiment. Noah explained it was an emergency procedure reserved for clients who posed a danger to themselves or others. Olivia leaned toward Gemma and whispered that whatever happened inside Cloud 9 could never be undone. The next day at work, Gemma heard noises from down the hall and went to investigate. Her heart raced when she found Noah stepping out of a room unexpectedly. Noah insisted she take the night off, assuring her he had everything under control and that she should resume on Friday. Reluctantly, Gemma left. Not long after, Brooke called, inviting her to a night party. When Friday arrived, Gemma took her place at the front desk as Olivia handed over the shift. Alone, she decided to dig deeper into the computer's backlog. Her heart raced as she uncovered footage from the previous night. The recording showed Noah emerging from the restricted room, carrying an unconscious woman to a bed, strapping her down, and wheeling a monitor close. The files contained multiple disturbing videos, and she quickly took his camera for evidence. Just as she prepared to review it, she received a text from Brooke. She took out his dress and left. Brooke arrived to pick her up, and warmly introduced her to his friends before escorting her to the party. On the balcony, the cool night air wrapped around her as Brooke placed his jacket over her shoulders, asking if she was all right. He nudged her toward Max. Kate mentioned she had told Max that Gemma worked at Somnium. She had been given a rebirth, marked forever with tattoo number 221. She described how she slipped into a coma, nearly dying, only to awaken as someone entirely new. Later that night, at her apartment, Gemma blow-dried her hair when a sudden knock at the door startled her. She moved closer, but suddenly, the television flickered on by itself. As she reached to turn it off, the pale creature reappeared, sending terror surging through her. She ran to her room, slammed the door, and locked it, trembling as the creature pounded violently against it. In a moment, there was calm. Desperate for comfort, she called Brooke, using the excuse of returning his jacket. When he arrived, he immediately noticed how unhappy she was. He asked if she was all right. She insisted she was fine, handed him his jacket, then pleaded for him to stay longer. She reminded him of his promise to help her. Slowly, Brooke set down his jacket and stepped toward her. Their eyes locked, and Gemma kissed him, longing for reassurance. But he pulled away. She asked if this wasn't what he wanted, and he gently told her he was different. If this had been his desire, he would have acted long ago. He told her to look whatever is troubling her in the eyes, and with this, she will understand. After a while, Gemma noticed her apartment door was slightly open. She stepped inside, calling out to whoever might be there. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared, and everything went dark. When she awoke, she was strapped to a bed beneath a harsh light. Noah's voice echoed coldly. She felt the sting of an injection and went unconscious. When she regained herself, she noticed that she was inside the Somnium program. Torchlight in hand, she moves through the dim hallways, telling herself it's just a dream. Suddenly, the previous creature appeared. She ran outside, only to find the building dissolving into nothingness. Fear gripped her as the creature drew closer. In desperation, she called Noah, begging him to pull her out. A faint light drew her toward a looming structure. She stumbled inside, where a man approached her, speaking urgently into a communication device, claiming he had found her. He led her deeper, where another man awaited. But before she could resist, she was pushed onto a stage. An audience erupted into cheers as blinding lights surrounded her. The host, John, welcomed her warmly, thanking her for making it despite her busy schedule. Confused, Gemma sat as he introduced her to the crowd as a celebrated actress, while she knew this was an illusion. The host praised her for reaching success and asked if she had ever imagined standing on that stage. Gemma, confused and overwhelmed, admitted she had no idea why she was there. The host tried to press her with more questions, but Gemma had no real answers. Feeling out of place, she excused herself and stepped off the stage. As she walked outside, the entire building faded away and disappeared into nothing. She tried to convince herself it was only a dream. But then, right in front of her, her parents' diner appeared. As she stepped closer, she saw Luke waiting. His voice was calm but cutting, telling her to come back home. Gemma hesitated, but Luke kept pressing. He reminded her how long she had been in Los Angeles without any success. His words grew harsher, mocking her failures and calling her life a waste. The torment became too much until she finally screamed, shouting that there was nothing left for her here. With strength in her steps, she walked past him, refusing to give in. The diner faded away into darkness, leaving her alone in the void once again. From the shadows, the pale creature appeared, moving toward her. Tears ran down Gemma's face as fear took hold, and she begged to wake up from the nightmare. But then she gathered her courage, stood her ground, and faced the creature. She locked her eyes on it until, at last, it disappeared into the dark. In that moment, she woke. She freed herself and stepped out of the room, where Olivia and Dr. Schaffer were waiting. Olivia asked what was wrong, but Gemma ignored her and kept moving. At the front desk, she found Noah on his laptop. As soon as he saw her, he panicked and ran off. Dr. Schaffer stopped her, demanding answers. Gemma told her to look under the desk, where she would find a drive. Not long after, the news spread. Somnium had been shut down. Noah was arrested for assault and kidnapping after evidence from a fellow employee. Relief washed over Gemma. Then her phone rang. On the line came the call she had been waiting for. She had been chosen to play the role of Marion in the film. The movie ends here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss more recaps.